Alright guys, you saw the title from this video. In this video I'm going to be reviewing a game that I was a part of. And yeah, this game, it's 1200 elo, but believe it or not, it had a brilliant sacrifice of a queen that would lead to checkmate. Before I begin guys, if you just please drop a like and subs, I would really help the channel a ton. If you're really interested, let's drop super thanks. Without further ado, let's just begin. So the game started off with d4. I responded with d5. Then my opponent played knight f3. And I played knight c6. So far, like, just normal development. I mean, we are 1200s after all, so it's not like anything crazy is going to happen immediately. At least that's what you would expect. Until my opponent played bishop g5. Now, this isn't a good move because the bishop can just be attacked immediately by either one of these pawns, although I did not choose the f-pawn because, well, it just, like, weakens my king. Instead, I chose the h-pawn. And apparently this was actually the worst alternative, according to Stockfish. But my opponent didn't respond to this threat. Instead, they played knight c3. I'm assuming maybe they pre-moved it because their time did not go down at all. Maybe. But anyways, I just captured. And this position, probably a lot of people will just resign. My opponent did not resign. Instead, they captured the pawn. I pushed the pawn, obviously trying to reveal attack on their knight. They played h4. Knight actually decided to attack their knight with my pawn. Their knight moved away. I brought up my bishop, because now the goal is pretty much just trade off everything, because I'll be left with a piece and I'll be winning 100%. I captured the knight. They captured back with the pawn, although, to be fair, I would have captured back with the queen. But okay. And then we have bishop d7 for me. But then we have queen g6 check. Now, there are two legal moves. One that loses the game, and one that actually keeps the game at winning. The losing move, king e7. Because this happens, and then the king just has to run, and then the rook is lost. But don't worry, I did not do that. I went king f8 instead, thankfully. Then we have pawn h5. Now the idea, maybe white is just trying to promote their pawn or something, I'm not really sure. Then we have knight e7, because the idea was just like make their queen leave immediately. Because yeah, their queen being this close to my king, very dangerous for me in the game. And then we had queen g3, and we have pawn g6. The idea, if captures, just captures, but obviously that didn't happen. Instead, we have pawn e3. I captured. They moved their knight. I moved my knight. We traded. And then it looked like they offered me a free pawn, but in reality I knew it was just to develop their bishop. So instead I just pushed the pawn to replace the pawn that instead got captured. Because like you can see. Oh wow, this was actually a better move. Okay. Weird. Anyways, yeah, we just traded pawns, then they gave me a check. I blocked with my queen. Then they took a pawn. And I tried to attack their queen with my bishop, and now the game is only winning by about 2 points for me. They captured another pawn, and then I gave them a check. They moved their king, and by this point I was seriously confused because at the time, guys, by the way, I played this game like 20 minutes ago. What happened was that I was saying to myself, what am I supposed to do? Like, their queen, it's in a very dangerous position to my king. Like, I was really scared at the time that yes, my king is not safe at all, but according to the engine, my king is totally safe. Instead, we have queen b2, and they gave me a check. I moved my king, and we have rook c2. I captured what looked like a free pawn. Then the advantage fell even more. Then we have bishop moves to c4. Then we have queen to b2, and now the game is basically equal. Well, equal. Probably because there's some forced draw by repetition or something. Then we have rook h3. The reason it's 0-0, I'm pretty sure is because there's probably just some forced draw. I'm not sure where, but probably there is one. Anyways, we have rook h3, and then a blunder that I made. Queen b6. The reason, you will never find it pretty much. Okay, guys. I'm going to give you, like, 5 moves to guess why this is such a losing move. You will never guess it. Yeah, first of all, they played rook g3, which now forces it to be mate in 6. And now, try to find mate in 6. You're welcome to try find it. Believe it or not, queen takes on h5. An actual brilliant move. This brilliant move is not a joke icon. This is an actual brilliant move. Because after the king captures, you move your king to e2, And now mate is totally unstoppable. You have to sacrifice the bishop to prevent the rook over here from coming over here. Then you just capture the rook. Then you can move the queen over here or over here. Then you bring the rook to h1. Queen defends. Rook h2 mate. Wow. Can you believe that? But as you can see from the move list, obviously that didn't happen, so yeah, we'll just continue. By the way, guys, really quick thing, if anyone below the elo of like 1,800 to 2,000 finds Queen h5, 100% they are cheating and you should report them. There is no way anyone below the elo of like 1,800 or 2,000 will find this move. Because like, this move, it's literally a brilliant queen sacrifice. But it wasn't played in the game, obviously. So instead, they just pushed their f-pawn, and now the game is just totally winning for me because I just traded queens, because now the only piece that was really a danger to me is now gone. I gave them a check. They played king e2, then pawn a6, I played. Then they moved their rook over here to h3, and then we have bishop captures. They tried to attack my bishop, I moved it back. Then they moved their bishop. Then I gave them a check, and now the game is basically equal again. I don't know how, but okay. Is there anything? I'm assuming maybe there's some forced draw, probably. No, they just moved their king. Wait, why is this a draw? Wait, no. Wait, why is this a draw? Oh. Because after this, oh wow. Oh my. Wow. Wait, you have to sacrifice to even keep the game equal? Oh, wow, okay. Well, obviously it didn't happen. Instead, we have king f2. And I realized that now I can trade rooks. So I played rook d2 check. They moved their king over here. I captured. They captured back. Then we have knight e7. Me trying to develop my knight. Then we have rook g1, taking control of the open file. And then we have rook a8 from me. Obviously trying to just promote the pawn and kind of just make the game end quickly. But they moved their king. And I was going to play this move until I realized that I would just blunder a rook of a move. So we have pawn push. Then they move their king. Then I push my pawn. And if you're wondering why I didn't even bother to defend this pawn, it's because I understood something that my opponent didn't. After they captured, I realized I can play this. After they move their king over here, I shouldn't capture this free pawn, because this free pawn would not be winning. Instead, I play rook g8, as you can see from the move list. They were forced to capture my knight, and I captured the rook, and now the game is basically totally over for them. They played pawn e4, then I just captured their bishop, because by this point, yeah, it was very obvious they basically just gave up. Although to be fair, considering they haven't resigned for a very long time now, pretty much anyone in this position would resign. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't try to save the bishop, if I'm being honest. I captured the bishop, they captured my pawn, I just kept pushing my pawn. Then I promoted, and then, yeah, I gave them a check. Then I captured another pawn with check, and now it's literally just making 2. And then, yeah, I forced their king all the way to b8. And then I realized something. I don't want to stalemate, and thankfully, they have this pawn. So I played pawn b5. Then we have pawn b4. Well, no, not b4, c4. And don't worry, I did not capture, as you can see from the move list. Queen b7, checkmate. Wow. What the heck was this game? By the way, imagine if I actually just captured with stalemate, that would just be very sad. But don't worry, that didn't happen, thankfully. Anyways, what did we just watch? Okay. Very weird opening because they just blundered their bishop in one move. Then my king just got attacked a lot after I broke their position over here on the queen side. Then they just ignored my threat on their pawn. Then we traded knights. Then I tried to defend my pawn. Then they gave me a check. Then they won 2 pawns. Then I gave them a check. And then I moved my king because they just kept attacking my king. Then the game basically would have been a draw. But no, they made a move, so the game wasn't a draw anymore. and I tried to offer a queen trade, and yeah, after this move, forced mate in 6, as I showed. There was literally no way to stop it. Like, you can try literally anything. It's not stoppable, but thankfully it didn't happen. Instead, I just traded queens, and yeah, their position began totally falling apart. But I think for some reason, maybe here there was a forced draw or something. Maybe this move. Apparently, it says that if I didn't capture mate in 8. What? Oh, the game is winning for them. Because of this? Oh, that's why. But now what? What? No. Wait, what is the winning move? Oh, this is the winning move. Oh, wow. Okay, but they didn't play that, thankfully. Instead, we just traded rooks. And yeah, the game, after they captured my pawn, I just did this trap on the rook and the bishop, then promoted my pawn, and then checkmated them, and it looked like maybe I would stalemate, but obviously there was no way I was going to stalemate. Wow. To be honest, this game can be described as a game where like, I won, but to be honest, it was a very terrible win. Like, there were multiple opportunities that my opponent had to just absolutely demolish me in the game. Like, dude, if this move was actually found, wow, like, if that move was actually found, although no way a 1200 was going to find that realistically. And yeah, when I first like reviewed this game, I didn't even know this was going to be forced mate in 6. It took me a few attempts to find out why. But yeah. By the way, guys, really quick thing. If anybody below 1800 to 2000 elo finds like a move that's like a queen sacrifice that leads to mate in like 6 moves, 100% you should report them for cheating. There is no way anyone below like 2000 would find a move like this. Like, literally, there's no way. And I mean, to be fair, there was also like, what's it called? Wait, where's the pawn move? This pawn move, where I would literally just be forced to like capture. Because if I didn't capture, it will be forced checkmate in 8 moves. I think also here. Is it also forced checkmate in 8 moves? No, apparently only here it's forced checkmate. But here it will still be losing because I just lose my rook eventually. And yeah, the game also technically had a chance to end in stalemate. But obviously I understood that capturing this pawn, why would I do that? Instead, I just checkmated instantly. And yeah, that was the whole video. If you enjoyed, please drop a like and sub. It would help the channel a ton. If you're really interested, you can drop super thanks. Comment down below what you thought about my performance in this game. Okay, listen, to be fair, I think I performed like actually like a 1200, but on the other hand, yeah, I am still a little upset that I allowed that brilliant queen sacrifice to possibly be played, although to be fair, there was no chance my opponent was going to find it realistically. But yeah, comment down below what you thought about this game, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.